Hi, it's Robert Mitchell, and we're here at the 2013 Toronto International Film Festival. We're here at Midnight Madness for the world premiere of Oculus. Congratulations on getting the film here.
Yeah, it's. I've been a fan of the program for years, so it's kind of surreal to be here.
So I know you've gotten this question a lot. So obviously this film is generated from a short film that you made in 2006, and you took the initial idea of that. What was it about that story and the idea that you wanted to develop into a full feature?
Well, it was funny. We finished the short, and it had this very kind of enthusiastic reception on the festival circuit. There was a lot of interest in developing it into a feature, but it was a movie about a guy alone in a room with a mirror for 25 minutes. So it was like, how the hell do we make this, longer, and how do we keep people's interest? It took us years to figure that out. So what made me want to keep going with it was that I love the idea of having an extended mythology about this haunted object, that it was like a portable overlook hotel, but it's been the movie I've wanted to make for the last 7 years, so it's great to do it. Yeah.
So what was it like to work with the director?
It was good. It was very specific. We didn't have a lot of time to shoot it, and so it's kind of always handy for a director to give you very specific notes, very precise. We still had fun and had time to muck around with it and find the scene, and it was pretty gnarly material, so I had fun. It was good. Yeah.
Welcome to Midnight Madness.
It is Midnight Madness, isn't it? It is madness. Yeah, it's great.
Can you tell me a bit about the character you're playing in this film?
Yeah, so I'm playing Michael Dumont. I don't want to give too much away or anything, but I am the lead's sort of fiance, and I'm pop in and out here and there, and my fate is to be determined, I guess.
What was that experience like to score a horror film? I'm sure it's got to be an amazing experience to hit all those beats and craft a score for a horror film.
It was, yeah. It's a unique horror film, so it wasn't just your typical, kind of just pure noises. We got to do some cool stuff, so it was a blast.
When you're writing this film, it's a smaller kind of story. How do you, when you're writing, how do you rein in your imagination to do it within your means to be able to pull this movie off?
Well, luckily I came up doing really, really low budget stuff, so writing to scale and keeping the budget in mind was always something that I had to do. For this one, I was lucky enough to have really, really great producers who were willing to let the film get as big as it needed to be and expand it without kind of taking away from the claustrophobia of the short that we were really excited about.
I'd never done a horror film before, so I was quite nervous stepping into it. But he made me feel safe, and Mike's he's really friendly and really soft, and he allowed us that time to explore. So.
How do you feel you've grown as an actor being in this, as you said, your first horror film?
You know what it's done to me? I think it's done this thing where, as an actor, you kind of read a piece of material and you find the most interesting way to play it. But doing this movie, it's kind of made me realize to just jump to the next level and commit to anything you're doing, and then pull back from there, whatever, after that or after the next take. So I thank Mike for allowing me to just plow into whatever I'm doing and then bring it back a little if I need to. That's what's good about horror films.
What was your experience like acting in this horror film?
It was great. It was a lot of fun. I didn't know what it was going to be like to do a horror film. I'd never done one before, so it actually ended up being a lot more fun than I thought. I actually heard it was a lot of fun. I just didn't really believe it because you're dealing with such horrifying, terrible sort of material, I guess, the things that happen are awful, but it was a lot of fun to do.
So what was the challenges of scoring a horror film? As you said, this is a very unique take on a horror film.
Yeah, I think because the timeline of this film, and I think the emotion was really very present in this film, and rather than just scares, has a lot of emotion, and the character has a lot of heart. So I think scoring that rather than just scares all the time is a little more unique, I think.
Which is cool too. Then that way there was a blend of emotions in that in the music, and it really helped pull the story together.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it was great, and Mike himself, the director, is actually like a classical piano player. So it was just communicating with him was such a breeze and so smooth, and we worked really well together.
How do you light such a small space with the mirror and the cameras and all that? That had to be, you have to probably figure that out.
Oh, it's a mess. Between the mirror and the cameras in the room, there are about 3 places you can actually put the crew without seeing them in a reflection or seeing them in the monitor. So what we had to do was build the stage so that we could fly the walls out, and when you see those sequences in the movie, we're actually editing on every line of dialogue to try to keep the pace of the movie going, because it was tough enough to kind of maintain a story in there for 20 minutes in such an isolated environment. Like 100 minutes is a whole other story. So,
what was it like to work with Mike as a director? It's like his second feature.
He's fantastic. I mean, his material is incredible. He wrote the project with his partner, and they came up with a really brilliant story and script. And it's a kind of it's the kind of project you read and you immediately want to be a part of. So I felt very fortunate to be a part of it in the first place. And on set, he's incredible. He's a great director.
You're a real student of horror films. I've read that, Brad Anderson's Session 9, a great film. You've referenced that numerous times. What do you like about horror films, and why do you want to continue to tell stories in the horror genre?
Well, for me, horror lets us explore the things we're the most afraid of. It's the darkest side of human nature, but we can explore it in a very comfortable environment. It's a safe way for us to challenge ourselves and deal with our fears. And the really kind of awesome thing about it is that we can do it in a way that's cathartic and that's not dangerous. So, I think movies are meant to make us kind of experience the best and the worst of ourselves. So if we can explore that darkness in a safe place, that's really exciting.